Welcome back, everybody. We're here with Louis from A.C.F. Home Inspections, and we're going to continue to talk to you about everything you need to know about home inspections. So, talking about home inspections, we know that there's all types. There's the general home inspection, and then we know that there's a couple of others, such as a 4-point inspection. Can you tell us what the 4-point is of a home inspection, and also why is it important for a buyer to have that?
Okay, well, it's a good question. The 4-point is basically for the insurance. So you want to check with your insurance agent to make sure that it's something that's necessary. So a lot of times what happens is on older homes, they want to check the condition of 4 components. One would be the roof. Second one would be your AC system. The third one is your plumbing. And the fourth one is your electrical. So they want to know if you have any aluminum wiring, any panels that may have defects, if your plumbing has any leaks, if you have certain type of water pipes such as polybutylene pipes, which is a great flexible pipe that they tend to leak. They want to know if you have any aluminum wiring in your panels. What type of panels do you have? Because there are some out there that are known or listed by the insurance company as having defects, such as a Federal Pacific panel. I think sometimes they do Zinsco and Sylvania panels. So it's a good idea to have a 4-point done, but make sure that your homeowner's insurance is requiring it.
And you say that because some of the homes that are newer don't require it?
Yes, usually it used to be 20 years. They've changed the standard a lot now. So I see homes nowadays that are 10 years old and they're requiring a 4-point just to make sure that the items that you have there are functioning the way they should be.
Okay, gotcha, and that they'll be insurable.
Yes.
So speaking of insurable, there's something that's called a WINMIT that every insurance company is asking for these days. Can you explain to us what is a WINMIT and what are you looking for to give to the insurance companies?
Okay, so that's a good question. What's known as a WINMIT is also a wind mitigation. So the wind mitigation can get you a discount on your homeowner's insurance. Normally, what they're looking for in that report, we have to take pictures of all sides of the home, all shapes of the roof. So they want to know the shape of the roof. They want to know what's holding your roof sheathing down, whether it be plywood, dimensional lumber, or OSB, which is the modern items that are being used. How long the nails are, how far apart the nails are, and what's holding your trusses down to your outer walls. So they'll have either a toenail on older homes. They may have a clip on some wood frame homes. They can have what's known as a single wrap, which is a strap that goes over the truss, 2 nails on one side, 1 on the other. A double wrap, which is double straps. And that will determine what degree of discount you may get on your homeowner's insurance. Every insurance company is different. So you want to ask to see if you're going to get a discount from that insurance company if you do a wind mitigation.
Your reports are so funny. I see things in there about toenails, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Are we at the nail salon? Are we doing a home inspection? So it's a good idea to double check with your insurance company on that, getting the WINMIT done, because it can save you some money. Yeah. Now those are some, I would say those are like requirements to be able to get insurance. Now there's some other inspections that somebody might want to do or maybe should do. For instance, we've got mold. We've got mold inspections, we've got septic inspections, we've got extra moisture inspections. So tell us a little bit about that. Do you recommend that somebody gets a mold inspection in the state of Florida?
There's so many inspections out there that can be done. Most of them are beyond the basic home inspection standard. Mold is one of the trickiest ones. We always recommend if you feel that you have health issues, you have younger kids who are developing that have some health issues, respiratory issues, things like that. We always recommend that you have a mold inspection done. The price varies. Sometimes they are costly depending on how many samples you do. But the mold inspector will come in and they'll do an interior sample, an exterior sample, and tell you there's elevated levels of mold in a home. It's always recommended to do it just to make sure that there's nothing in the home because mold is not visible. It can be behind the wall. It's beyond the standards of a home inspection. And a lot of times you're not going to see it without air testing.
And it's funny you said that about you don't see it. And also, people walk in a home and they say, "Oh, I smell mold in here." You can't smell mold either.
Yeah, you usually can't smell mold. Usually will happen with mold. People who are susceptible, who have issues with respiratory, they'll tend to their throat will close up and they'll have a hard time breathing. That can be an indication that there's something going on in the house that you want to have tested.
Yeah, so it's don't think he has X-ray vision either. So it might be a good idea to go that extra step and get the mold inspection done. Now, is there ways to check for? Because we're in Florida, we've had a lot of some water intrusion in certain areas we didn't have before. So that's a big question I'm asked a lot by the buyers. Has there been any water intrusion? And I also look at houses with a slope in the back just to look for indications of it. I am no home inspector, so I'm going to leave it up to him to explain. How do you tell if there's been any kind of water intrusion?
As far as mold, not mold, but moisture, it's hard to determine. Mold is associated with moisture. Unless there's any visible stain that we can see, a lot of times I know I use an infrared camera. If I have a client and they feel that there's something going on or something on the disclosures is mentioned that there was a leak somewhere, we can go through and check that with an infrared camera, sometimes a moisture meter. I like the infrared camera, but it's not something that's visible. And one of the things Linda says is it's good that she checks the slope of the house, because on a home inspection report, if the house is sloped, the grade is sloped toward the house, we're going to make mention of that because that's going to be a potential issue for mold in the future and moisture intrusion.
Perfect. All right, and also there's so many other tests that we can have done. In the state of Florida, we don't generally have radon.
Radon? Yes.
However, there are some parts of Florida that do have that. So what is radon, and do you do testing for that?
There's a specialty for that. You have to be licensed in that. It is a process that takes anywhere from 1 to 3 days to do radon. I was certified in it. You have to be licensed through the Department of Health. So what it is, they'll put a machine or devices in your home that'll test to see if there's any gases in the home. From my understanding, you don't find a lot of it here in Florida, but it's always recommended to check just to be sure, because you never know where there may be or may not be radon. So it's one of the tests that you can have done. Sort of a couple other inspections would be like lead paint. So there's many out there that can be done that's not normally done with the home inspection. So you can have them done. Just have to ask your realtor and say, hey, what other inspections may I need? And have those scheduled to be done to be sure there's nothing wrong or any issues in the home.
See, I like what he says here. He says, check with your real estate agent. And the real estate agent checks with the inspectors. So, all right, well, that's great. I really appreciate your time. But before I let you go, I have a question for you. Real important. What is the top 3 pieces of advice that you would give a home owner, a home buyer, a home seller, or somebody who's looking to stay put? What's your 3 top pieces of advice that you would give to that person as a home inspector?
Okay, so we're going to start off with the homeowner who's going to sell. Number 1, get all your components checked and serviced. Do a pre-listing inspection. If you don't want to do that, make sure you check the bigger components. Make sure your AC is working, you don't have any leaks, you don't have any missing shingles, and that everything is functioning the way it's supposed to. Now for the buyer, you want to make sure you do your due diligence. Check and see if there's any permits pulled. Ask if there's any upgrades that were done. Make sure that you have pen and paper and a flashlight when you go to a home, when you're checking it out. You want to look under the sinks. Look at the AC unit. Step back, look at the roof. So that way you're gauging those big components that are big dollar items which can stop the sale of a home, such as a missing shingle, things like that. And that the AC is working. So when you walk into a home, you can feel if the AC is working or not by being in the home a little bit. Just make sure as the home buyer that you check the whole house out. Walk around the outside. Don't just walk into the front door. Take a look at all the components. You're purchasing the home. Be sure you're going to be happy when you move in there. Don't just depend on the home inspector. The home inspector is going to give you the condition of the components, but you're the person who's going to live in that home 15 to 30 years. So make sure that you check out your house thoroughly.
That's a good point, because when you're in there doing the home inspection, I'm in there with the buyer usually, and that's sometimes where we find a functionality defect for that family, and we've had to have a conversation about it at that point. So you have been so informative. Thank you, as
Thank you,
always. And and thank you for your service to our country as well.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I'm sure everybody's going to want to get a hold of you now. So can you tell them how they can reach out to you?
Oh, that's a good question. You can reach us at 407-466-8921. You'll have a lovely lady, AKA my wife, will answer the phone and she'll put me to work. She's great. She'll make sure you get everything done there. Or you can look us up on the web. You can go to acfinspections.com. Our website will be there. It's interactive. It will help you schedule online, or it'll give you all our information, and you can reach us at the office.
And you also will see the website and the phone number here on the screen as well. And because just in case you got the 4 mixed up with the 8 or something like that. Not that you would ever do that. So, all right, again, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure working with you for the last 14 years. And I look forward to another 14 with you, or maybe 40, maybe 45 years. All right, this is going to wrap it up for what everybody needs to know about a home inspection. So thank you guys. And remember, I'm Linda Schulte. I'm the broker owner of Schulte Realty here in the Central Florida area. And remember, I can also help you anywhere in Florida, because don't forget, Schulte Realty, we cover Florida like the sunshine. Bye, everybody. Until next time. And then we're going to keep on talking.